I didn't know your husband was an actor.
Yeah, we met in a play. I played his psychiatric nurse.
Right, and how's it going? So was it love at first rehearsal, or?
There was lots of snogging in the wings, yeah.
Unscripted?
Oh, very much, yeah. Unethical doctor behaviour. Until Davina McCall did that documentary.
By the way, love Davina McCall.
Yeah, and that was a light switch for a lot of women that were like, oh. Yes. So I got some HRT, which isn't that straightforward to get your hands on.
Right. How quickly was the improvement?
Pretty immediate. Within a week, I started to feel better, a lot better.
Was it like a miracle?
Yeah, it's a silver bullet. It really was. All I said was, the dads are very quiet on the WhatsApp groups, aren't they? And I got so much aggression from blokes. They were so cross with me. They were like, we're not wanted on the WhatsApp groups. I was like, all right, lads. Seem to have touched a nerve there. They need a WhatsApp. I'm not into Bond. I've never seen one. But, I mean, I know. It always gets that reaction. That's why I don't watch them now. Never seen a Bond.
You're so busy, aren't you?
Sometimes I'm busy. And Spinal Tap, that was the other thing we could talk about.
Yeah, the new Spinal
Tap sequel, which will be out hopefully next year.
Have you really got any children? Are you really married? How do you feel on this? She's here, can't wait to talk to her. Love the bones of her. Vassos, over to you.
Our next guest is one of the funniest people on the planet and best actors in the business. Equally brilliant in Derek and on Dave, she rarely makes a bad move. She's now launching her Bandwidth tour, which starts in Poole in March. So please welcome the very merry Kerry Godliman.
All right, Kerry.
Hello. Good morning.
So much to talk to you about. You can just be part of the show every day. We can talk about fitness. You're 51 now, aren't you? You're about to welcome a third actor into the household. There's all the Japan holiday chat as well. There's the perimenopause stuff going on. There's the
You've
tour.
been busy.
Oh, mate. I love you anyway. I love you anyway. And we just gave each other a hug. You feel strong, man.
I do feel strong.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's this whole perimenopause, doing weights, all this stuff.
The Kerrymenopause.
The Kerrymenopause. Oh, no. I wish I thought of that before I put the tour in.
I thought that's what it was going to be called. The Kerrymenopause.
Oh, no. It's too late now. I've done all the posters.
Bandwidth,
it's called Bandwidth. Yeah.
Well, it speaks to that, but you've got to be at the meeting.
Yeah.
Kerrymenopause is better.
Kerrymenopause, yes. Kerrypause.
Kerrypause. All right. Anyway,
it goes on for years and years and years. I'll put another one in.
All right. So, sorry, we were talking to you. So you're getting strong. You're loving the weights.
I am. I quite like the weights.
Tell us about the weights.
It's short and I feel quite focused. And then if I do cardio, it's so boring, Chris.
Yeah.
I get bored.
No, I'm the other way around.
I don't. What do you do with your head? I weights. I'm like, fine.
Yeah.
I do a Joe Wicks video. I turn Joe down. I play music I like, and I just follow along, and I'm happy.
Can you turn Joe down? I want to turn him down. I can still hear him.
I can still hear him, but I know what he's saying because I've done the same video.
Tash and I were talking about this over the weekend. So every morning, every Saturday, we go for this 3-hour run, right? And we love it. We go through the hills. Yeah, it's good. We go together and we sort loads of stuff out. But we were talking about, speaking exactly to that, about well-being. So well-being generally is two things, lots of things, but generally it's two things. It's food and diet and hydration and sleep. But the two things that we can do is, number one, we can go and work the body out, and number two, we can quiet the mind.
Yeah.
And we said over the weekend, we came to this agreement that it's much easier to go and work the body out for an hour than tell the mind to shut up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny, isn't it? Because one is less effort but harder to do. The other one is more effort but easier to do, which is what you're sort of saying.
Yeah, definitely. The quietening of the mind after the working out. The quietening of the mind happens after the working out.
Yeah.
Because the other way around does not work.
I know, but if
you could call it exhaustion.
The thing is,
I wear myself out.
I think the thing is, when we're running for so long, what happens is your breathing gets into a rhythm, and it's like automatically being meditated as opposed to meditating. The fitness meditates you. Your breathing gets into a rhythm that calms you down, and then your mind goes quiet for a bit. I think you've got to get to a certain point. It's like taking the stabiliser away. I don't know.
So I don't know, but I do know that I enjoy doing all of it now in a way that I didn't when I was younger.
Okay, so when was that? Was there a moment?
Aging, just generally, just that kind of drinking and stuff, in hedonism of your 20s and 30s, and sleep deprivation of having young children and things like that I don't have now. I don't drink as much. My kids are older. They don't want much to do with me, so I've got more time on my hands and just things like that. I just have more time to spend on these kinds of things that I didn't used to have.
Yeah, and it's funny, isn't it? Because you don't have to necessarily give things up. As long as you're present, the things can give you up. Somebody said at the weekend they've stopped drinking as well.
Yeah.
And they said and I never heard of this before. I thought it was brilliant. He said, I stopped drinking when my Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings became more important to me than my Friday and Saturday nights. I thought,
I love all that. Those sort of phrases where
good.
someone used the phrase making an enemy of tomorrow. When you're out drinking, you think, if I stay out late and have another one and then another one, I will make an enemy of tomorrow. And I don't want to waste my time. Time starts to feel quite precious.
Yeah.
If you have the privilege of ageing, and
Yeah.
you're like, I don't want to waste days with
And it's funny,
hangovers.
isn't it? Because when you don't have responsibilities like children and things like that at the weekend, maybe there's just too much time to fill. So you have fun at the night times, which isn't in killing time necessarily, because I still think it's fun and filling time. But maybe the fact that you've got to get over your hangover on Saturday morning gives you something to do.
Yeah.
Almost. You know, otherwise, what are you going to do?
No, totally.
If you haven't got kids to look after, you haven't got a shop to run or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll get over my hangover. That's what I'll spend the whole morning doing.
Yeah, but when you look back on your life, you're not going to say, oh, I'm so glad I was so good at being hungover.
No, I know.
I was brilliant at it.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you all the way. Right, so let's talk about this third actor.
Oh, God, are we referring to my daughter?
Yes.
Yes.
Because all this is part of the tour. I'm sure all this is going to get onto the tour, isn't it?
Yeah,
One way or
it
another.
is working its way in, which is delicate because she doesn't particularly want to be in my material. And as she gets older, she's a bit like, can you not talk about me in your act?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is fair. Now she's an adult.
Well, yeah,
But I'm like,
and
yeah, but it's all
understandable.
relevant to me, and that's what my stand-up is. It's me talking about my life, and
Yeah.
that's part of my life.
Yeah, sorry, you are part of my life, and
Yeah.
I need to put bread on the table.
Yeah, and that's just what's come up. So it is like sort of a little bit living with a ghost of your former self when
Yeah.
your daughter's going, into the acting scene.
And is it done deal now?
Yeah, she's pretty much up and running. Yeah, she was in a film earlier this year that will be out next year,
Right.
and she's going for drama school and doing all that. She's
I knew
really
she'd been
excited.
in the film, but I didn't know whether the drama school decision had been made.
Well, I think she's going to have a punt. I mean, those sort of things are sometimes out of your hands, but she really is keen.
Right.
She even went to look at my old drama school.
I
the
know,
other
I heard
day,
about
and I
that.
was quite interested that she liked it.
And
You
she
know?
didn't mention your name.
Nope. She doesn't have my surname, and she didn't mention her mum went
She
there.
said, Mum, I'm not a Nepo baby.
She will not have any of that Nepo business. To the point where sometimes I'm like, help yourself a bit, Give
Yeah.
yourself a tiny bit of a...
Nope, thank
no,
you, Mum.
No, thank you. I'll be doing it
Well,
alone.
not so far.
No, quite.
Maybe if it comes in handy. I didn't know your husband was an actor.
Yeah, we met in a play.
Didn't
I
you?
played his psychiatric nurse.
Right, and how's
in a
it, how's
fringe
it going?
play. He's always set our stall
When
out
was
of our
that? When
relationship.
was that?
That would have been around 2001.
Right.
We were in a fringe play in
Right.
Kennington in one of those pub venues. There aren't as many of those now, are there?
Is the King's Head still going in Islington?
I don't
That
know.
was a
This one
great-
was the White Bear down in Kennington. I don't know if that's still a
And were
theatre.
that's interesting. So were the theatres always in the pubs, or were they?
There was just a kind of flurry of them in the 90s. Like lots of plays came through, and then the ones that did well would get transfers, wouldn't they?
Big time, yeah.
Yeah, but that whole scene, I'm not sure it's as big as it was. There used to be a lot.
Very
of
cool. Comedy
pub
clubs as
venues.
well, kind of similar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rooms
yeah.
above pubs, back of pubs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
little black boxes at the
You
back
met
of
your
the
husband
pub.
on. So was it love at first rehearsal or
There was lots of snogging in the wings, yeah.
unscripted?
Oh, very much, yeah. Unethical doctor behaviour.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Tell us about your son and Japan.
Oh, yes, he got into Japan through those Ghibli films.
Right.
And I said to him in the lockdown, when this is all over, I'll take you to Japan. Kind of thinking that the world was coming
We
to
might
an
all
end.
die.
Yeah, I sort of didn't anticipate.
We'll have to pay for a Japanese holiday.
Yeah, I just thought we could do it on YouTube with a towel over your head
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and we'll just pretend, shall we? Anyway, the world didn't end, as we are now a testament to. So I took him to Japan this summer, last summer gone.
How was it? Because I really want to go to Japan.
It was amazing. I think if I were to do it again, I'd spend a bit more time. It was all a bit rushed. We went for 2 weeks, and that's quite ambitious for a trip of that nature. It
Right.
was like we packed a lot in. Our feet didn't touch the ground.
Did you have any mates that had been, or how did you know what to do?
I didn't really. I booked one of those holidays where you're kind of like you have a
schedule,
a
an
schedule,
itinerary.
and there's a kind of guide, and they're like, "Get up now, get on this train now."
Did you have to move hotels?
Oh, constantly.
Oh
moving.
no, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, we
Couldn't
moved
do that.
constantly.
Oh, that packing, unpacking.
Yeah.
Not that I do it.
Didn't
Tash
even
does it
do
all.
any packing or unpacking. It was just a
What
bag.
about what's going on with you and WhatsApp groups and that tweet you sent out saying, "Come on, lads, get back on the old WhatsApp."
I've never had more feedback, shall we say, than when
Was
I
it
said.
constructive?
All I said was, the dads are very quiet on the WhatsApp groups, aren't they? And I got so much aggression from blokes. They were so cross with me. They were like, we're not wanted on the WhatsApp groups. I was like, all right, lads. Seem to have touched a nerve there.
Yeah, so
they're very mum heavy, aren't they?
did they have a case, the dads, in retrospect?
No. Are you?
No, I'm not on WhatsApp at all.
Oh well,
Zero. I don't have WhatsApp on my phone.
Well, this is, this is the difference between mums and dads. Is the mums are on these groups getting involved, and the dads are like, "What is WhatsApp?"
Right.
This time of year, it's funny as well. I've got male friends that do all their Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
That the women have done it.
Yes.
It's all packed.
And this is all true. This is true. This
Yeah.
is the difference between the species.
I know.
You can deny all this you want.
I know.
There are
it's
certain
well covered. We're different.
There are certain isn't it? Day and night.
We are different.
100% day and night.
But when I very gently, let's say, cajole the blokes
Yes.
into a little bit
Offered
of
it up.
self-reflection. Yeah, I didn't say anything mean or aggressive. They didn't like it.
So it didn't sort of categorise as bants.
I would have called it bants.
Yeah.
But they came back hard. They were like, stand down,
They don't
Godliman.
like the bants up them, do they?
Yeah, they don't fit like getting got at.
Can you talk about WhatsApp a bit? And because Vassos is in charge of a WhatsApp group.
I thought you were going to say he was in charge of WhatsApp, because I've got feedback. I've got definitely some feedback.
My main bit of feedback is if you delete a message, can it just not be deleted? Why does it have to say you've
it's
deleted a message?
It's
and then everyone
so
wants,
creepy.
what did he put?
It's so creepy. And when you leave a group, can you not just leave silently? Why does
quietly.
it say Kerry's left the group? Why
Right,
is
but
it
also,
so
so Vassos says one of the problems with WhatsApp groups is if you originate a WhatsApp group for all the right reasons, like
we start with the right reasons.
Vassos is in charge of a running club or a running night in a running club,
Right.
and he said, look, it's all
It
great.
makes sense to set up a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, it's all great until.
Well, yeah, so we've got more than 100 runners at Barnes Runners, so 120 people on the WhatsApp group, which is a sort of medium-sized one, isn't it? But if someone posts something about Hammersmith Bridge, a little moan about Hammersmith Bridge, or something like that, or and then everyone will feel that all 120 people will feel this is a free-for-all for me to just
It's the new Facebook.
say stuff I reckon, and then it becomes unmanageable and people leave. So then I have to privately message people to say,
you poor thing.
Can we keep it focused?
Yeah, can you keep it running focused, please?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or there should be different fonts or colour coding for anything that's not relevant to the actual point of the group. So a parents' WhatsApp group should only be, when's PE? What day do they go on that trip? Have you got the email address of the English teacher? But then opinions come in.
Oh, yes.
And then it's social media. And then it's something else.
Is any of this going to make the tour?
So, bits and bobs. I mean, they're just all various rants that...
Kerry's on to talk about kerrygodliman.com, the tour. It's not called that, it's called Bandwidth. But kerrygodliman.com is her website. You forgot it the other day. It's kerrygodliman.com. It couldn't be any easier.
What?
Your website?
Oh, yeah, it's very straightforward.
No, but you said, I think it's kerrygodliman.com the other day. It's the perfect website.
This is what I mean,
It's
the
what
bandwidth. I haven't got the bandwidth
But you
for
pay
it.
companies pay billions of pounds to get the .com. You are just, it's your name and .com.
Yeah. It's
That's
so
it.
straightforward.
Oh, right. Now, is this because you got perimenopause brain?
Yeah, everything. If a new piece of information comes in, an old piece of information goes out.
Whether it likes it or not.
Yeah, and that could be the name of one of my children.
Could be the most
Gone.
important bit.
Yeah, it could be really valuable.
No
pin
room.
numbers. Goodbye, it's gone now.
Right, so tell us about your experience with the perimenopause.
Well,
Or the headline. Give us the headlines.
Okay, until Davina McCall did that documentary.
By the way, love Davina McCall.
Yeah, and that was a light switch for a lot of women that were like, oh.
And her books are great.
Yeah. Suddenly, you realise the things that you didn't quite know were going on. You go, oh, it's this.
Yes.
This is what it is.
Yes.
So I got some HRT, which isn't that straightforward to get your hands on.
Right.
So there's a lot of material about that, about,
How quickly was the improvement in your own
Immediate.
sanity?
Immediate.
Is it? I don't mean that.
No, I felt
disrespectfully.
like, some of the wheels were falling off until I got
Are we
some...
talking hours, days, weeks?
Pretty immediate. Within a week, I started
Within
to
a
feel better, a lot better.
Was it like a miracle?
Yeah, it's a silver bullet. It really was. And then it makes you quite cross about how people aren't getting access to it, or the years that I put up with things that I now think, hang on, that was perimenopause.
So it sorts you out, and then you have room to be cross again.
Well, you can have more focused fury. You can be a bit clearer about it rather
Functional
than being
fury.
Functional fury rather than being
No, the
confused
tour
and
name.
bewildered. They're just falling
Functional
out of
fury,
the
get it
organs.
down.
Oh, functional fury.
And you
Kerry
speak
Pause.
to this, don't you? You speak to this in your tour. You talk about, not that I've heard you talk yet, but I've heard you talking about your tour. You speak to the fact that we're not supposed to live this long anyway, men or women.
Yes.
And so
in olden times,
nature doesn't have a. Nature she has our backs on most things, but she's like, I don't know about this. You've made yourself live longer. It's your problem. You deal with it.
And there is a bit of a gender thing with that. Like a lot of women's health there's a lot of gaslighting in medicine.
Yeah,
it's been in the news only this week, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff about women's health. They're like, wow, in olden times you'd be dead. So,
and fishwives and all this. You speak
yeah,
to
like
the
battle
old mother-in-law
axes,
jokes.
the mother-in-law and all that stuff. And it's like, now I get it. Now I'm the mother-in-law. I'm the angry middle-aged woman.
Yes.
And I now know that it's medically validated.
And often your perimenopause and or menopause collides with your children's
puberty.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
It's like the perfect storm.
It is a perfect storm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So either have your kids earlier or later.
Yeah.
Don't get the timing worked out.
Mother Nature, can you evolve? Can you evolve us a bit quicker? I mean, how long are we supposed to live? I know that people are trying to live longer. There's science about living longer. There's sort of competitions on living longer. There's billionaires doing anything they can to live longer. But I wonder if it's a bit like technology, right? So there was a time, wasn't there, when mobile phones were like bricks.
Yeah.
Dom Jolly, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then the sort of technological challenge for Apple and all these people was to try and get phones smaller and smaller and smaller. But then they became too small to show off. So they became bigger again.
Oh, they've got bigger again.
They got bigger again. So I wonder whether we'll learn to live longer and go, this is too long, we need to live a bit shorter.
Well, the quality of the life is quite important, isn't it? So
back to Paul McCartney.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah,
That's
marginal
the value of the yoga.
They call it the marginal decade.
Which is from when to when?
Your last decade.
Which
you don't know when it's going to be.
You don't know when it's going to be.
But they say one of the sensible approaches is to try and aim for the best quality of marginal decade possible, because then you've absolutely smashed it.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Yeah. So other things. So we've got the menopause on tour. You're taking the menopause on tour with you?
I'm taking the perimenopause. Some of it's about the perimenopause. I have to be careful about doing too much about the perimenopause, because you could just see all the blokes go, I don't think that's my cup of tea. I don't think I've had it.
No, it's definitely my cup of tea.
Well, if there's a woman in your life, you might want to,
Well, this is what, the whole Davina book, right? So she's done 2 books now, hasn't she? So I read the Davina book first because I was advised to by a lady doctor to do with my own domestic situation.
Right,
now you've got to be very careful
enough.
about this.
Yeah.
It's more fragile than eggshells.
I saw a really lovely post from a young guy who was saying it was valuable to him understanding his mum. I mean, it's like it's really helpful for all these relationships.
Yeah, and then you've got to be careful, haven't you? Because you go, well, as a bloke, right, mansplaining.
Yeah.
According to Davina's book, it's obvious what's wrong with you.
Yeah,
but of course, none of that can be said. A, it might not be true.
No, quite.
B, you can't say it.
No, because...
C, Davina says, leave the book around the house.
Oh, is that what's recommended?
So I've been leaving it here.
Or you could get tickets for my show.
Ticket. Oh, yes. Which is now.
There you go. I bought you this for Christmas, love.
Thank you very much. Yes, we should do that, shouldn't we? We don't go out very often, Tash and I, anymore.
There you go.
Why are you taking him to Kerry's store? Any reason in particular?
Just came in. It was really. I just thought you'd find it funny.
And by the way, why is that Davina McCall book following me around the house?
How many copies have you bought?
Yeah, either there's a poltergeist in here, or anyway, yeah. So what else? So you're still trying stuff out, aren't you?
I'm doing work in progress shows. I've done quite a few through November. I've got a few more in January, and then and we're pretty much there. Tour starts in March.
Which bit might still not make it, or you want it to make it, but there's still a bit clunky.
There are bits that definitely I'm like, I'm not sure.
Give us a bit.
No, that's not fair.
No.
They're secrets.
I don't want you to do it.
I can't show you my workings out.
No, I know that, but could you just give us a headline?
Is
it the drums, the guitar, the keyboards, or?
I don't know. It's just when I listen back, I record them and then I listen back to them and I'm like, I'm not sure about that bit. I got bits that I love doing and I'm starting to really enjoy, and I know they're going to get better and better.
Give us names the ingredients without any of this.
A lot of what we've been talking about, a lot of... it's interesting because they're whole set pieces that are driven by sort of emotional, I don't know, they're not jokes. I'm not like a joke writer. I don't do one-liners or whatever. So I can't sort of do a bit because they're in
by the way, I didn't mean that. I know
you mean themes.
I know you can't do a bit. I know that.
It's all parenting and some of this WhatsApp stuff we've been talking about. I can't even say it. And stuff about fashion.
Why don't you have a WhatsApp group, right, for every night of the tour, so they can join the WhatsApp group for that day?
I haven't got the bandwidth. bandwidth for that. What would I do with all that?
Yeah.
I can't.
No, you don't join it. You just set it off. You just let the snakes out of the sack.
What? So every night,
everybody goes to the gig
shall we
that
all set
night.
up a WhatsApp group for tonight for this room?
WhatsApp, yeah. So like your tour, so you go, hey, tomorrow's WhatsApp group is for Lowry Keys, Salford, Thursday, April 10th.
So there's a WhatsApp group for that room's guests.
So you're going to do for that gig.
Yeah.
You're going to set up the WhatsApp group on Wednesday the 9th because that's gig eve. Then you got gig day like Christmas Day. Then you got gig Boxing Day.
Gig Boxing Day.
Each day gets a 3-day pop-up WhatsApp group.
I don't know when I'd fit that in.
Just get your tour manager to do it.
Okay, all right. So a WhatsApp group for every night. So everyone feels like they're in a little gang.
I don't know, just because it's about that.
Yeah, no, there's bits of that. That's
So
a good idea. If I can do that, technically, I'm a bit worried about the technical skill of that because I'm not very good with too much tech. I have to sort of disengage.
Too much tech?
Yeah.
Tech off.
Tech off.
Tech off.
Tech off.
Tech
yoga
that.
on.
Take that. Another name for a tour.
There you go.
Yeah. I know you're talking to Rob recently, weren't you, Rob Beckett? And Rob,
yes, on Parenting Hell.
Yeah, Rob's been on tour.
Yes.
And he said that he went to this particular night, I think it was Swindon or Bristol or somewhere, and there were 4 empty seats in the front row. And he says, why are those 4 people not here? And it turned out that their mates were there either side. They booked a few seats. And he said, well, have you got their phone number? So he phoned them up on stage and said,
that was the storm night, wasn't it?
Yeah, why aren't you here?
Yeah.
And they said, well, we live 20 minutes away. This is a terrible storm. He said, I've just driven 2 hours to be here. I said, yeah, but you're getting paid. He went, good point, well made. And hung up on them.
Yeah, that was when Storm Burt kept a lot of people away. Yeah.
Do you take a tour manager on tour with you?
I am this time. I haven't done this before.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's a whole new, because actually Rob and Josh were very good at giving me some...
By the way, talking about the parenting podcast, it's great. You should listen to it.
Yeah, it's really great.
They're very funny.
Yeah, they were advising me about taking a duvet and pillows and things like that. I've never done that. I've always travelled with another comic, a support act, and we've always just chatted the whole time. And then I've wondered why I'm exhausted when I get to the gig. So this time I'm going for a whole different approach. I'm going to have self-care. I'm all over it.
You're going to be Paul McCartney at 82.
I'm going to be Paul McCartney
this
at 82.
This is the beginning
I'm going to stand on my head and get a duvet.
Yeah.
And that's it. I've smashed it. I feel like, and I'm not going to have too many WhatsApp groups.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to let go of a lot of my WhatsApp groups. Yeah.
So because a tour manager with a band, they barely see them. They're a tour manager.
Yeah.
They don't drive the bus. But a tour manager for a comic is they're actually driving you everywhere. Aren't
Yeah, they are. And one of the reasons why I went for it this time is because I'll be filming. Because we're doing some more Trigger Point as well. So we'll be filming around... So I'll be doing Trigger Point and...
Hang on a minute. Just drop that in, why don't you? Round of applause. Trigger Point, by the way.
Clearly,
she's fishing. She's fishing.
It's worth... Thank you.
And by the way...
can they come with me everywhere I go?
I've been on for a minute and you haven't mentioned Trigger Point yet. Munch two.
Well, we're doing some more Trigger Point and I'm doing this tour. So I thought, treat yourself to a tour manager, Kerry, because you might need to have a bit of...
It's like a dating thing, though, isn't it? You've got to get the right one. You're going to spend so much time together.
Well, the one that my agent has found is absolutely wonderful. I'm really excited about it.
Is it like an arranged marriage, though?
Yes, it is a bit like that.
Did you have to
go on a date
dates and things?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about that.
She was fabulous. We've got quite a lot in common. Got kids similar age.
Yeah.
And I was chatting away, and then she went, "Don't feel you've got to talk to me the whole way." I was like, "What?" She went, "No, that's not what this is.
Yes.
You can now just rest." I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's what you want.
I couldn't believe it.
What about the vehicle? That's important. Have you gone for a bigger vehicle, smaller vehicle?
I don't know what vehicle. She did suggest that she had more than one.
Oh, you need
she's
to
got
check out the vehicle. The vehicle's as important as the person.
No, you're right. I said, "Does this chair go back?" And she went, "Well, now that I know you want a chair to go back, I'll bear that in mind for next time."
What about a hearse? Because you could lie down in the back, couldn't you?
Yeah, but that would be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a bit
Like
weird.
you've been getting a coffin and...
No, well, so you know Lee Mack, don't you?
Yes.
So Lee Mack and I, we used to share this amazing wardrobe lady called Marcia, and she had a hearse because she could lay all her costumes down in the back.
That makes sense, yeah.
Makes a load of sense. Makes
that
all
does
the
make
sense. What about a Ghostbusters ambulance?
Where do you get them?
You can get them at car auctions. I'll get you one.
Or a van? I've got a camper van.
Camper van. Oh, of course, we've had camper van chat before.
I've got a camper van. I'm trying to sell it. No one wants it,
What?
Chris.
Sell it
Do
to
you
your
want
tour manager.
Yeah, but it doesn't go over 50.
Oh, no, because it's an old one, isn't it?
It's
an
old. Well, you say old. It's 1990. I don't think that's old.
It's not that old.
It's classified as
Why
old.
does it only go over 50 miles an hour?
Well, 60 downhill.
Well, because like 110, 120.
What?
Yeah, of course.
Not a 1990
VW
T25.
DSG.
Yeah, but that's a new one.
It's not that new. It's about 15, 20 years old.
Yeah, but this is older than that.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, I have a lot of
can't you sell
affection
it?
for that van. I think I've sold it at the wrong... I'm trying to sell it at the wrong time of year. Now is not the time to sell a summary...
No, now's the time to buy.
Right.
But anything now going into the last
Well,
week
if
of December.
anyone wants it, it's on Auto Trader.
Is it?
Yeah.
Check it out. Let's get it up. Let's pull it up. Let's try and get Kerry's
I
van
don't know
sold.
where. My brother's got it on there. He said he's put it on there
He's
for
got
me.
it on there. Jeez. Sold it 10 times.
I only use it for Glastonbury and
He's
Latitude.
got 1 star on sellers' ratings. Right, what else? Come on. Let's talk about Trigger Point.
So we're doing Trigger Point. We're going to be filming season 3 of Trigger Point.
How good is Trigger Point?
It's so good.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I feel I love the character I play in Trigger Point. She's so much cleverer than me, so it's really lovely.
So she's not.
She is. She like talks in the periodic table. She can do science.
Yeah, because she's not.
I can't work out what's
Because the perimenopause isn't in the script, is it?
She's really brainy.
She's not been through COVID, really.
She's a brainy lady, and I like
You're
playing.
a brainy lady.
Well, we have different skills, put it that way. So I love playing Sonia.
What are you? We're watching this. Talking about Black Doves at the moment. Have you seen it?
No, that's on my list.
Keira Knightley, Ben Whishaw.
Yes.
It's so good.
I've heard it's brilliant.
She kills people. Keira
Really?
Knightley's killing.
I thought she was a spy. She's a spy.
She's a spy slash assassin.
Is she?
Blaming right, she is. And a
Wow.
mum to boot. Married to a minister. He doesn't know.
Is that Ben Whishaw?
No, he's her co-assassin.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And Sarah Lancashire's in it as well.
Sarah Lancashire's off the chain. Off the chain. We do 2
I've got
things.
to watch this.
Aaron Pierre should be the new Bond, no question about it.
Okay.
So Eon, Michael. I also want to say Michael Lewis. Michael Wilson and Barbara Broccoli. His name throws me off because he's Barbara Broccoli's sister. It's easy to remember her. She's named after broccoli and her name's Barbara.
Right,
She's named after
okay.
a big green thing.
Yeah, no, that's
And
easy to
he
remember.
should be called Michael Broccoli, but he's not. He's called Michael Wilson. See, I can't even remember then. Can't even remember then.
Maybe you're perimenopausal.
No, certain names I'm not happy with, right?
Okay, so they've got to be like alliteration double B.
So, well, I see a word
Yes,
or a name,
yes.
and I make up my mind immediately whether I'm going to remember it or not.
Really?
And if I don't want to remember, if I decide not to, sometimes I want to, but I decide not to, which is weird.
Yeah, yeah.
That I just can't. It
It won't stick.
won't stick at all, and unless I tell myself a different story, and then it's
Memory's a weird thing.
yeah. So make haste slowly, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Latin for that is festina lente.
Okay.
Now I couldn't remember that until I told myself to remember it on Friday.
And now you have.
And now I can.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to tell Michael Wilson. Anyway, the point is, Aaron Pierre,
Yeah.
who's unbelievable,
Yeah.
he should get all the Bond money in the world, the big
Right.
Bond ranch Bond,
Right.
and give it all to him.
Wow.
Because he's amazing. He's amazing. He would drag Bond kicking and screaming, not into this century, but into 2024.
Okay.
And Sarah Lancashire should be the new M.
Okay.
And if Eon Productions are listening, have that all for free. I know that Amazon own you now, and you don't really care about Bond as much as you used to, even though you claim to, but you really don't, because you're kicking your heels, dragging your heels over the next one. And decided the next Bond is let their own script. It's been ages
Why
now.
is that taking so long to sort out?
Because they've sold to Amazon, and no matter how much you still want to feel it, all the money's in the bank now.
Okay.
This is just my opinion.
Okay. They
From
need a
experience.
WhatsApp. I'm not into Bond. I've never seen one. But, I mean, I know. It always gets that reaction. That's why I don't watch
You've
them
never
now. Never
seen-
seen a Bond.
Okay.
It's just not my thing.
No, I'm not going to ask you why.
It's not my
I'm
thing.
not going to ask you why.
Oh, okay.
You just preempted the question. I'm going to ask you how. Have
I
you
know,
never-
people have said that.
Oh.
I just have never... No, people are curious because how can you have avoided them? But I just have. They've just never been on in a room that I've been in the same room as.
That's not possible.
It is, because when it comes on... Well, now we live in a world where you don't... I mean, it's quite hard work to complete any film without turning it over
now,
or being on your phone.
But what about the previous 35 years?
They weren't on in our house. It just wasn't a thing that anyone
They
in our house watched.
You must just mistaken them for Magic Roundabout
But
or
there
something
were like
that.
5 channels
Magic
to choose
Roundabout's
from.
got a bit aggressive, hasn't it?
Oh, is that still on? No.
But
No, just never seen a Bond.
Christmas Day, never seen a Bond.
No.
Wow.
I like sort of musicals on Christmas Day and jolly things.
No, so do I. But Bond was just always on Christmas.
Was it?
Have you seen Spirited?
Which one's Spirited?
Spirited is the Sky Christmas musical starring Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds.
No, I haven't seen that. Is that good?
Oh, it's great. It's
Oh,
not
I'm
good,
going to
it's
have to watch
great.
that. This is good. I'm getting all my Christmas viewing
I
organised.
watched it yesterday again.
Right.
It's brilliant. It's so clever.
Yeah.
It's a clever film. Kerry, what else do you want to talk about?
What about Whitstable Pearl? That's available.
Oh, my
Season
gosh.
3.
She's in that as well, isn't she?
Yeah. That's on Acorn now. Season 3 has been out a couple of months now.
You're so busy, aren't you?
Sometimes I'm busy. And Spinal Tap. That was the other thing we could talk about.
Yeah, the new Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap sequel, which will be out hopefully next year. So it was a busy year because we shot Whitstable
Have you
Pond.
really got any children? Are you really married? How do you fit all this in? And you've written.
You know what these things are like. You're busy and then you're not busy. That's how it goes.
I think you're just the first bit of that, aren't you? And you've written this tour. It's amazing. Tell us about Spinal Tap. Done in the can.
It's done. It's in the can. Paul
Wow.
McCartney's in it.
What do you do in Spinal Tap?
I'm the band's manager. So I inherited their contract from the guy. Do you remember Ian Faith,
Yep.
who played their manager?
Yeah.
I'm his daughter, Hope Faith.
Now, there's a bit of truth there, isn't there? Because there's a real example of that in real life.
Is that right?
Yeah, because Sharon Osbourne's dad was Deke Arlon. And Deke Arlon was one of the great band managers. And she
Right.
inherited that sort of zeal and that,
Right, yeah.
that zest.
She went into the family
that
trade.
gumption.
Yes.
She may have inherited the gun.
Oh,
as well.
wow.
Apparently there were guns involved.
Gosh.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. But that is kind of the vibe that we've gone for, is that she's the daughter and she got... The band went
And
viral.
the band's still the band?
The band are still the band. They haven't been in touch with each other for a while. Then Garth Brooks does a cover of a Tap number and it goes viral, and that means they're contracted
Who
to play
doesn't
a
like
gig.
a bit of that?
So I make them play a show.
Have you always been a fan of Spinal Tap?
Always.
So do you know about the real Spinal Tap?
What do you mean?
Anvil.
No.
Oh my gosh, Kerry.
What?
So Spinal Tap, there's a real Spinal Tap. They're called Anvil. And Spinal Tap was based on the band Anvil.
Is that right? Because
And-
Christopher said he remembers being in some lobby and he overheard this English band bickering about where their bass... Someone's like, where's the bass? He's
There's
like,
a
I left it in the
documentary
van.
called Anvil.
And this is what inspired...
I can't remember the actual story. I don't know which way around it is. But Anvil are real.
Right.
And their story is Spinal Tap, and you can watch the documentary. And the documentary is one of the greatest things you'll ever see in your life.
Right, that's on my viewing list as well.
Okay. I'm going
So
to make
many
sure
things to
you don't
see.
have time to watch any James Bond films, so you can always say, I haven't seen a James Bond
Yeah,
film.
I'm going to stick with that now. I'm seeing that project.
Have you got
through.
any other of that? I've got one of those.
What, that you've never seen?
Never done.
What?
I've never bought anything online.
How have you done that?
I just never have done. I've never bought...
How have you avoided... I mean, so you go shopping like acoustic?
I just I barely buy stuff anyway.
Right.
To be honest.
Right.
But I wouldn't know how to buy anything online.
Well, it's really easy. It's worryingly easy.
I know that.
I mean, it's one click.
I know that from the number of Amazon packages that arrive at our house every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I had a bit about this. I don't even call Amazon. I call it Jeff's van. I just call it Bezos's van. Like, he's just got so much stuff in the back of that van. So much gear.
Yeah. The everything store.
Yeah.
That's what they called it.
Yeah.
Lucy says, Kerry's amazing. I took my 21-year-old son, George, to her show at the Comedy Store. He was her Bants pal for the young people in the
George was
audience.
great.
Tell us about Bants pal.
Oh, well, all being well, sometimes if you do a little bit of chat with whoever's on your front row,
Yeah.
sometimes it works out. You can't really control it if they're a bit shy or whatever. Then, but George was great because anything about generational stuff.
Yeah.
He was young because he came
Same
with
with
his
the
mum.
team. I've got the team.
Well, it was really lovely if he's sort of up for it. So everything, I had a whole bit with George about doilies.
Right.
It's very niche.
Yeah.
And he didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And I got so much joy from his bewilderment. He became part of the show in the end.
Doilies.
Doilies. You could see it blew his mind.
They still blow my mind.
Yeah, they are
Because you
weird.
get paper doilies were fine, but cotton doilies, like, whoa,
Crocheted things.
crochet things, like all the germs.
Yeah.
Like spiders'
you put them
webs
through
for
the
food.
wash. Spiders' webs for food.
Don't you think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Val says,
but George was a lot of fun.
Love Kerry, especially on Afterlife. She has that rare and special ability to make you cry with laughter and break your heart. Sublime.
Well, Afterlife was a gift of a job, wasn't it?
You stop deferring the compliments.
Oh, okay.
You're amazing.
Well, thank you.
You're an amazing human being.
Oh, thank you.
James Islington, the King's Head in Islington is still going strong. It's taken on a new premises very near the old one. They have a pantomime on at the moment. Love the show and love the chat with Kerry.
Oh, that's lovely.
Well, unfortunately,
That's
it's
good to know
over now.
about
The bit
King's
of
Head.
the show you love is actually over. In fact, the whole show is over. We got another 2 minutes to plug the heck out of your gigs because I want people to go and see. KerryGodliman.com. Very difficult to remember that. KerryGodliman.com. If you have baby brain, other brains you can have. Other brains are available. Baby brain is available.
Perimenopausal brain.
Perimenopausal brain. Marathon maranoia brain. Maranoia brain.
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot of
available.
brains.
It's a lot of brains.
Periodic table brain, which is what my trigger point character's got. She's got so many periodic table codes in there.
Yeah.
There isn't room for Bond.
What about that when people... You can have a talent for maths. Isn't that incredible?
I know, that
For those
blows
of us
my
who
mind.
don't have that, That is incredible.
Trying to help your kids with their maths homework when you don't have any talent for maths.
Some people see a maths equation on a blackboard like a rainbow.
Yeah, they see it like a chord.
Or like an ebbing tide or a setting sun. They go and they say, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful." And it's only beautiful if it works, apparently.
I know. It's a mystery to me. It might as well literally be another language. But I'm so glad there are people that do that.
Yeah.
And then there are people that do other things.
Yeah. What advice would you give to your daughter? What's the most important thing that you could tell anyone to do with acting if they wanted to be an actor?
Wow, I genuinely don't know the answer to that. I never knew whilst I was in that world. For me personally, and I don't know if I would advise my daughter with this, the thing that really clicked all into place was when I discovered stand-up, because then I felt like I had a bit of agency in the world of performing, because you're often, in the hands of other people, whereas you're not so much with stand-up. You can book a tour, write a show and go and do it.
But it's more naked in a way.
It's it's definitely a different skill, but it is when I found that world of stand-up, my acting work clicked. Yeah. Something clicked.
They help each other out.
They helped each other out, yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh, it's been such a delight.
When you were offered up as a guest, like some kind of sacrificial lamb, we were like, yeah, Kerry's coming on the show. Round of applause for Kerry Godliman. Come on, she's the best. Doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better.
This is so
great,
lovely.
They're my front row bants, these people.
Oh, can they come out with me and be with me all day? Man. Yeah, every decision
absolutely.
I make, I want them there.
I think you'll need a bigger tour bus, but yeah, of course. UK Tour Bandwidth begins Wednesday, 5th of March in Poole until Thursday, 22nd of May in Hackney. If you see any warm-up gigs, go to those because they're always fun. KerryGodliman.com. Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you.
All right, Jim Carrey week this week. Jim Carrey's on the show on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's so exciting. Thank you, Vassos.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, team. Have a lovely Monday. Back on Tuesday. Goodbye.